Okay, I'm gonna give it a minute in case somebody's up and somebody wants to listen to me. But I'm gonna do this because uh, I just gotta do it. Okay, even with all the corruption that's coming down in society right now, and all the evil that's getting ready to take place, and so on. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So here you are. You see the name that I gave this live stream, that I don't care if nobody listens right now because I'm so early in the day and everybody's in bed or what have you. Okay, the deal is this. Okay, there's a reason I say what I say, but a lot of times my message falls on deaf ears. It really does. My message falls on deaf ears, and I continue to watch the problems that we face in the manosphere continue to grow. The anger continues to grow, and the problems continue to grow. And the problems in the dating arena and the genders has been socially engineered, and I'm watching all these people. And I'm not criticizing you because you're young yet, but the reality is I'm watching people go along with the social engineering that was designed to destroy the relationship between man and woman, that was designed to keep you from getting somebody in your life. See, the think tanks at the top are very intelligent people. They're psychopaths, but they're very, very smart. And what they've done with social engineering over the years has worked so successfully that I'm watching things like this. See, I understand in today's world, the girl won't take the time and don't want to take the time to get to know you. So it's either act now or lose her. I also understand that the female holds the power when over the male gender, and that should never be. Men should not have power over women, and women should not have power over men. We are all human beings. Okay, now we're gonna go here. So in today's society, we have the hurry up, hook up culture. No time to get to know each other. We have complete usury. Yeah, complete usury of one another. So there's two major downfalls from the very start that will destroy. Because the foundation of a relationship is to get to know each other. If you're not compatible, you meet somebody else. You get to know each other to become friends. Oh, well, you can't just be women, men and women can't be just friends, you'll tell me. And you hear this all over the internet and the manosphere. There's no such thing as a man and a woman can be just friends. If she's just your friend, remove her from your contacts list and never talk to her again. This is the type of advice that's being given out. Then we have how we have the rating system. Yeah, from 1 to 10. What's your looks match? What's your, oh, we're using it like the hierarchy. Yeah, you know, the sexual market value that's related to the, well, rating system of 1 to 10. Now we have your sexual market value, okay, like as of the human body is somehow a golden brick that's kept in the vault. Its value. How much is that brick worth? Okay. to people. And then the GOAT part is, I guess, looks, right? Looks and body and stats. Yeah, that's the GOAT part. So there you go. Then you got your, well, the laws of supply and demand. Okay. Yes, that's right. Oh, that's right. Oh, and you gotta have game. Yeah. That's right. You gotta have game. You gotta be Chad. You gotta be Sway. You gotta be Chad. Oh my God. I mean, the list of all the stuff that I've just said now is nothing but social engineering. Every last thing I said right now is social engineering. Yes, that is exactly right. First off, you shouldn't be having a rating system from 1 to 10. Second off, the dating scene isn't a sexual marketplace, though you believe it is. Okay? Then there's the fact that we're in a hurry up and jump into relationship because she don't have time to know you. You don't got to take time to get to know one another. No, it don't work that way. I know. I know it don't work that way in today's society. I understand you. I understand that you want to live TFL for the rest of your life. I understand that you don't want out of your dilemma. I know I sound like I'm being hard on you, don't I? But see, in the reality of things, if you're going to use the very tools of social engineering that was designed to destroy and keep you alone, and you're going to freaking parrot them tools, Polly want a cracker? You're going to parrot them tools. You're going to go buy them tools. And then you're going to complain you can't get. That's to the men. But don't worry, the women ain't no better. See, they're polys too. The only difference between their polys two is the women have been given the power, all the say so, all the choice. This is why you talk about the woman who's chasing after the Chad, the movie star, the image, the monetary, the usury. The usury. And you do got a legit complaint when you say, well, but the women ain't never going to give up their power. You're correct. The only women that'll ever give up the power they don't belong having are the ones that recognize the real truth. They'll put the power down. But it's not for a man to pick it up. No. See, the power does need to be taken away from the women, but not given to the men. Not given to no elitist group of men, but buried somewhere so nobody knows where it's at, buried so deep that you'll never find it again, so that neither gender ever have power over one another. The old motto, divide and conquer, they've done a wonderful job. They've done a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. When I tell people to go back to old school and they say, oh, it's not that way in today's society, I says, if you don't want to do what's been normal for hundreds of years, and this goes to the men and women both, of course, when I'm saying this, then things will not change. But you better remember, nothing's 100% across the board. I understand the anger in the manosphere very well. And I'll tell you what, the majority of you men out here that are living TFL, you have a right to be angry. Because if the women were facing what you're facing, they'd be angry too. But we're going to go into a little bit more depth on that as well while I'm here today, talking to you about this issue. Because as long as I'm going to tell you this straight out, this is the factual truth. Okay? First off, yes, I am the founder of the name TFL, True Force Loneliness. I'm the one that brought that name online. Until I came up online, it was unheard of. Problem was here, but nobody had a name for it. Involuntary celibacy is not true forced loneliness. Involuntary celibacy, incel to be short, is sexual based. TFL is not about putting your dick in a hole. So if you think it's about getting laid, you're already going with social engineering. Because you don't got to acknowledge sex, period. It don't become the center of focus. Because if you meet a woman and you become best friends with a woman and you like each other, that topic's going to happen naturally without ever talking about it publicly. It will happen naturally. So get off this crap about talking about getting laid and the sexual market value and laws of supply and demand. Oh, and Espia would tell you it only takes 17 men. No, the world would have died off a long time ago if there was only 17 men making all the babies. There would not be a world today. You would not be here. This is called not using critical thinking skills to what you're preaching to other people. Not thinking of long-term progress. If there were 17 men only, spreading their seed to the women, this world would have died a long time ago, man. Hell, we could fit the population in one little town. We wouldn't need all these cities. We wouldn't have all these countries. That's insane talking. That's talking from social engineering standpoints. The majority of everybody is talking from social engineering. And they can't even put two and two together to understand that when you're talking from social engineering, from what's been programmed into you, and you're not at fault for that neither. Let's just think about that for a moment, because I'm not blaming any of you. You're not at fault for what's happened to you, but you are at fault for not using your brain and critical thinking skills to be able to figure out what I'm telling you when it's so in your face. The hardest part of all of this is going to be to convince the female population of the real truth. Because they've been pampered and spoiled rotten and put on a pedestal, and their life's basically been handed to them. And they have all the choice. And a lot of women will deny that. And they will say, no, we don't. It doesn't matter what they say. That's a spilled argument they couldn't win if they tried, because a lot of them just will be in denial. Or they'll just, there are a whole bunch of women that are so obliviously unaware that they have the power, but know they have the power and will not even see that they do. And then you get to another percentage of women, oh my God, they know they got the power and they flaunt it and they love it. They're not going to give it up. This is why I always said that MGTOW was the answer. But it's not the answer unless it happens in mass numbers. And it would have to be permanent. And it'd be enough to snap the woman out of it, because she wouldn't have no guys approaching her no more. And if she approached the guy'd reject her like she did them. And she'd find herself living TFL. Now, there are women who are living TFL. It's just the numbers are low. To think that a woman can't live TFL is delusional. Because we are in a society that has been socially engineered, and not all people are going to fall into social engineering, but the majority will. And when you get into the real world and start really digging and start getting to know a bunch of people and off the computer and in the real world, you'll discover that there are women who've been alone for a long time. A lot of time, I like to say, Steve Holker's words, dating limbo. Or I'm going to tell you this, people who do not know what they're doing, men and women alike, because of social engineering. They don't know what they're doing. You know, that's like you walking into a building or a house to find an electrical problem. I'm going to give you an example. We have 4 outlets on this wall, a light, and 2 outlets, and another light on another room, in another room right adjacent to it. They're all dead. The lights don't turn on, and the outlets don't work. Could you walk in there and find the problem and fix it? Well, if you don't have the skill, you're not going to be able to walk in there and fix it. Okay, you're going to be looking for somebody who can by calling an electrician, right? Or calling somebody like me who could walk in there and fix it. But most of you couldn't do that, okay? Well, it's the same thing in the dating arena in today's society because people literally don't know what the hell they're doing. Oh, they think they know what they're doing. They've convinced themselves they know what they're doing. And they follow what their TV set and Hollywood movies. That's right. And music and school system has taught them. Garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. So the results are exactly what they are. See, it doesn't matter how I break it down. Men and women alike are human beings. Nobody's above nobody. See, I don't buy into the hierarchy in the job site, in the dating arena, in anything in life. I'll show you my middle finger. I will not put myself in that category, ever. It's not a competition. That's childish behavior. It's not about stepping on one another, even though in today's society it is, isn't it? Yeah. To get ahead, to get better, to make more money, you got to be an evil, sick psychopath willing to step on anybody and not even have a care with the cremation of care. See, social engineering has done a number on people. So in the dating arena, of course, because of that, this is what we got. This is what I'm telling you. Listen to people talk in the dating arena. They're telling you what's going on in today's society, and they're not wrong about what's going on. They're watching the symptoms of what's going on, but they don't have the clue. They don't have the first clue of how to fix it. For years, we've been told that we don't give solutions. Well, I've gave solutions that fall on deaf ears. Oh, I sure have. I gave people solutions. But it falls on deaf ears. And if it's going to fall on deaf ears, then, well, I guess you're stuck where you're at. You know, what can I say? I can't help you any. See, there's a reason I've had women in my life, and it's not because I'm a Chad. Get off of it. social engineering. There's a reason Hayden has got himself a girlfriend now. Yeah, it's official. The boyfriend, girlfriend. Don't worry, Hayden's not gone. Hayden's a great man. He really is. He'll be back. He'll come back. No, and probably may not come back without a girlfriend. He'll be on a live stream. He'll come back on a Saturday night one time. You watch. Give him some time. But see, Hayden understands. Hayden, even though he's 24 years old, he listened to my advice. He took critical thinking skills and examined my advice. He followed my advice, and he's got a girlfriend. Oh, hot damn! I wonder how that happened. Yeah, yeah. So I went a long time. I was 28 years old before I got anybody in my life. I lived TFL, and in between her, I was back into TFL, and then out and back in. So I do understand TFL. Why do you think I gave you the name TFL? And I've met so many guys that can't even get a woman in their life. And they get older and they get older, but the problem keeps getting worse and getting worse. And the numbers keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. And we have more and more men living TFL and more men living TFL. They've going years without anybody in their life. We have men that get women in their life in today's society, and they just forget that the women, their perceptions have been programmed just like our perceptions have been programmed, and they're following the social engineering just like you're following the social engineering. It's all messed up. It really is. But you got to remember it's not 100% across the board. And you got to remember the stuff I've been preaching at you for years because I've been telling you the truth the entire time. I've been lying to you. And if you would understand and get rid of the tools you're using called social engineering, you could eventually maybe meet somebody in your life. Have you ever walked down the street in the real world and you notice this guy, this missing hair and this and that, has got a woman in his arms? You wondered how this guy got that woman? He's unattractive, man. How did he get that woman? Okay. You ever see a big obese man with a big woman that's not super obese, but it's like medium, she's overweight, but she's in that category. And he's even huger than her. But they're a couple, they've been together for a long time. Have you ever really opened your eyes walking down the street in your town and really start paying attention to couples and see how many of them are Chads? See, this is the problem. You don't do that. Most people don't do that. They get their images from their television set from the brainwashing box in their room. They don't go out in the real world and examine what's really going on at all, no. And because of being rejected so damn often, well, that's a hard one because it hurts. You lose. It's like climbing a ladder. I've told you before. And every time you get halfway up the ladder, somebody pushes it over. Then you climb up the ladder, and then everybody's standing around the ground laughing at you, telling you, "Man up! Get back on that ladder and go up it again." So you man up and you climb up the ladder. You get halfway up and I push it over again. Then everyone on the ground is telling you, "You pussy, man up! Climb that ladder." So you all start climbing the ladder again, and it gets pushed over again and again. And pretty soon you get so frustrated, so tired, so angry. I'm not going up that damn ladder again. Fuck you all. And then all yelling pussy and calling your names. Okay, what do you see in here? What do you see in just that scenario? You see social engineering. You see groupthink. You see people thinking with a jar on a shelf. You see the loss of care. You see the loss of individuality. That's what you see. You see destruction. I mean, and this is what I'm talking about because look around you. You cannot go on using what's being talked about as, okay, yes, they're correct when they talk about in today's society, women don't want to take the time to get to know you. It's hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry or lose out. Well, did you know not taking the time to get to know somebody is a foundation? Did you realize the foundation of a successful relationship between a girl, a woman, and a man is the ability to take the time to get to know each other and become friends? These are very crucial points. And if you can't do that, enjoy your TFL. And if you're calling yourself incel, involuntary celibacy, and you're talking about, well, I can't get laid, you're using social engineering, because involuntary celibacy, incel, is sexual based. And if sex has to be at the top of your list, I hope you enjoy living TFL. Putting your penis in a hole to spread your seed is not a relationship, and it's the destruction of your society. It helps to destroy your society. It also helps you to destroy you. And you will destroy you. You will destroy every relationship you get in because you're thinking with your penis. Knock it off. Stop putting sex at the front of the line. A relationship isn't about taking off each other's clothes. It isn't about usury. These are all the tools that's been pushed on you. And you're using these tools. And if you keep using social engineering to try to fix your problem, you ain't never fixing your problem. Don't think for 1 minute you'll be fixing your problem, because you won't be. Because social engineering was designed to divide and conquer, to destroy. That's what the social engineering was about. That's why they've taken all these years doing it. So you've got to try to remember that, because you have to lose the social engineering. This is not going to be an easy process. But you have to ask yourself, hold on a second, guys, I'm being interrupted. Okay, now, somebody not paying attention, they didn't know I was on a live stream, they think I got time to chat with them now, and I don't. So anyhow, so the destruction of the dating scene comes from so many areas. You got to remember, it is the social engineering and our behaviors ourselves, women's behaviors, men's behaviors. You know, think about it this way. Jana was on Saturday Night Show. Jana made a video the next day. She got upset. She had a right to be upset. Because, see, when she talked real experience in her life, and she brought up two women that had been basically abused by men, which happens, she heard what I heard. Somebody had the audacity to laugh. I suspect it sounded to me like Jeff Ashton laughed when that happened. Okay, but it doesn't matter which one it was, whether it was SPO, whether it was Jeff Ashton. The point was, Jana wasn't joking. She was telling the truth. Women do get shit on by guys. Social engineering, guys. What did you see in MGTOW? What do you got MGTOWers? You got, oh, we got a pump and dump. We got to get even with these women. That's right. You got to continue the division. You got to do what the elite wants you to do so you can stay alone the rest of your life. I hope you enjoy staying alone. I hope you enjoy living TFL. Hope you enjoy whining and crying over how you could never get a woman in your life. Now, if you don't enjoy that, then maybe you should be taking advice from somebody that knows what the hell he's talking about. And if you tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, it's obvious you don't have the first clue of what you're talking about. Because let me weigh my life next to yours. Oh shit, I got a kid that I raised by myself. Oh shit, I've had a few girlfriends in my life. Had a long-term relationship, almost 18 years worth. So do you want to compare yourself to me now, huh? You want to tell me how you know more than me now, huh? Then what do you think I tell people that when I see it all the time in the manosphere, okay, one of my tools that I know, factual, I know this to be factual. When I hear these words said in the manosphere, is coming from men who absolutely do not have experience with women. Oh, they want to lie to the world and tell you they do. Yes, they do. And that is, women don't like sex as much as men. Yeah, the big lie. Absolutely no truth to that whatsoever. Anybody that has experience with women already knows. Anybody that's ever had a woman already knows. Women like sex every bit as much as men do. That's correct. That's the real answer. It's never been that women don't like sex as much as men. The only people spilling that are the people that's fallen for the lie and going along with social engineering and don't even know they are. Literally don't even know they are. And, oh, no, you're wrong. I know you're wrong because I know everything. Well, no, you don't know I'm wrong because you've never had experience with a woman or you wouldn't be saying that. And then they get mad at me because I dared to say it that way. Well, it's the truth. And I'm sorry if the truth hurts your little feelers. Get over it. I'm not up here to ridicule anybody. I'm trying to get you to think. I'm trying to get you to use what you have in your head. It's called a brain. I want you to be able to think. I want you to be able to examine. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm not trying to be an ass to nobody. I'm trying to get you to think. I'm trying to get you to practice critical thinking skills and examine things with logic and common sense, if you have any. Okay? I want you to ask yourself, why is it that even though I lived TFL, I was able to overcome it and I was able to have a woman in my life for 18 freaking years and bear a child with her that I raised, who's now 23 years old. Okay? And have other women in my life. How did I do that? And you think all of you guys complaining and this is what you want, that you would listen to somebody that's done this, that's not lying to you. But for whatever reason it is, my message wants to fall on deaf ears. That's sad. Because when I'm telling you the truth, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you what has to happen. I'm going to tell you what has to happen. The rating system from 1 to 10 needs to vanish. The sexual marketplace needs to vanish. Go away. Never come back again. Yeah. The worrying about the looks match needs to go away and never come back again. Reality needs to come into play, and you need to realize the best chance you have, if you ever want to meet somebody, is to try to create a social circle of friends that you could go out, play bowling, shoot bowling to a bowling alley. You could go out and shoot pool. You could go out and shoot darts. But find an activity you enjoy and try to make yourself a group of friends that you could go do this with once a week, a couple times a week if you got time, on a regular basis. Don't go there looking for a woman, go there to have fun. And if you do that, sooner or later, there's going to be a female there. She's enjoying, you're enjoying. And you're not going to be thinking about sex. You're not going to be thinking about getting a date. And you're going to be yourself. And she's going to get to know you. And you're going to get to know her. And if you continue these behaviors, one day you'll find yourself with a girlfriend. You sure will. It will happen naturally and organically, which is what it's supposed to do anyhow. Because you go on a date and you date somebody a few times doesn't mean you're compatible. It's about getting to know each other. When you meet somebody that really likes you, you're going to know it. But the foundation of a relationship, if this happens, you must remember these things, is good communication between woman and man. Understanding each other's feelings and respecting each other's feelings. And it's not about changing each other. It's not about, I don't agree with that. And so you're going to have a fight. If that's the route you're going to go, stay alone. Be by yourself, okay? If you're stubborn enough to not work with the other person, then you don't deserve to be with them. Because a relationship is work. It takes 50-50 from a man and woman. I would agree with what he said about the 80-20 rule. Needs to go. Yeah. Even if it's really going on, which it is, we got to stop using social engineering. It's not going to be easy because they just spent the last 50, 70 years social engineering us into this crap. People have been brainwashed for that long, so you got to ask yourself, how old are you? How long you been alive? Oh, yeah. You guys that are in your 20s, you grew up right in the middle of all this freaking filthy ass lies that have been told to you. You only know the bullshit, and so of course you're parroting what destroyed us all. You know, and well, attractiveness isn't your answer. If you're looking for attractiveness, you're looking for lust. I understand you want to have some attraction. I got nothing against that, so does she. But you really have to examine your attraction levels on an individual basis because none of us keep our looks. And the best chance you have is to not worry about attraction level, to go out and do the stuff I told you because when you do meet somebody, you're most likely not going to be have to worrying about the damn looks anyhow. Because you'll find some interest in this woman and be somewhat attracted to her to begin with, even if this way you can get rid of the rating system. Do away with fucking social engineering. Fuck the rating system. It's not on a scale of 1 to 10. You don't need to sit there and measure it out. That's just playing into the division. You can't sit there and keep using words like the sexual market value like somehow their body's a brick of gold and you're going to walk through this meat market, human meat market, and pick out the piece of butt that makes you most attractive. Oh my God. And you can't see where that's delusional. You can't see how come you're destroying your own selves. It is the social engineering of our society. And here's another one for you, the segregation of the genders. Yeah. And you know what the segregation of the genders are? They're busy telling you on your TV set and in your school system and in your books what a woman is and what a man is. They're telling you what your roles are in life. They sure are from the time you come home. From the hospital being born your whole life. You've been told by some other clown What you're supposed to be is being a man. And what a successful man is and what a loser is has all been told to you. And then you go along with it, huh? And then you wonder why you're alone. You wonder why we've destroyed our society. You wonder why the dating scene's where it's at. How could it not be where it's at? Because it was all engineered to destroy. And this is what I hear people just parroting and whining about all the time is the symptoms, the symptoms, the symptoms, and making all these bullshit scales from 1 to 10 to sexual market to supply and demand. Yeah, all of the stuff that destroys is all you hear them talking about. They don't want to talk about the reality. And they don't want to say, well, that's not the way it is no more, Bill. Women don't want to take the time to get to know you. That's the problem. You don't want to take the time to get to know each other and you can't figure out why you're failing, huh? Isn't it so in your face? Could it be any more in your face how messed up people really are? Look at the anger that's represented. You know, so many men think that, oh, well, women can't be victims. No, no. Women ain't being the victims. We're the victims. You think about it. The women that are going along with social engineering, they shit all over the men, use the men, destroy the man. And then the man comes along and says, okay, we're going to pump and dump you. And he goes out there and to women that had nothing to do with what another woman done to him. He goes in there and pumps and dumps her. Okay, so do you see the vicious cycle of revenge? Do you see how you're playing revenge? So we have the Hatfields and McCoys between the men and the women, don't we? And we're going to stay fighting, ain't we? I don't know if you're in lust with Mr. Holka. I don't know if it's just because you're gay. And I'm just being sarcastic here. But you know, I see this from people all the time. Where's Steve? Where's Steve? So you're all there kissing his feet, are you? You all out there just kissing Steve's feet, ain't you? You're bowing down for him. Are you also sucking while you're at it? No, I'm sorry, I'm being sarcastic here, but you know, this constant where's Steve? Where's Steve? Where's Steve? So obsessed with Steve Hoka. What the hell's wrong with you guys? Steve's a good man. Steve's a good speaker. I like Steve. But this shit of being obsessed over him, it's just ridiculous. It really is, man. It's like he's your great cult leader, huh? You got somebody to hold your hand through life to get by. You hate me because I tell truth and Steve don't tell, right? And Steve's a good speaker and he goes along with what you know, social engineering. And I don't know. I just get frustrated because I like Steve a lot. I know Steve means well. I know Steve's a good man. But I see all these people constantly, where's Steve? Where's Steve? Oh, Steve came into the live stream at this many minutes in. Make sure to leave a comment. Let everybody know what part of the show they can zoom forward to because they're on their knees worshiping. I mean, you see the engineering there? You see how you have no confidence? You have no what? What is Steve Hoka, your daddy? You need him to hold your hand? Okay, now enough of that. I just had to say that because I get so sick of seeing that. You know, I just get so sick of seeing that. If you want to know where Steve is, go to his channel. You're obviously on my channel asking me where Steve is. What do you think, Steve and I just talking all the time, 24 hours a day, huh? Because you know that we know each other, and you know we talk on the phone, and we talk behind the scenes, and that we actually know each other in real life, and blah, blah, blah. So you want to just assume for me that I should always know where Steve's at? Because you're so obsessed with him, I just, you got to get out of that state of mind, man. You really do. I'm basically here to talk about the dating scene and talk about how I witness and watch live streams being done, long ones where some good stuff is said, but nobody understands that they're all parodying the social engineering that's keeping us divided and that's going to keep you alone. That will keep you from ever finding a woman in your life. And if you're going to use the tools that have been put here to destroy and then complain because you can't get, see, finding a woman is like meeting another human being, which nobody knows how to do anymore. Because you're so focused on all the differences, right? Oh, well, her estrogen, her levels of this. Oh, yeah. And it's in her biology. Yeah. It's just in her nature. This is the way it is. It's inside her. It's in her DNA and it's in her biology. And you make all these cop outs to justify nonsense. You only prove that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's all you ever proved. See, our society gave us our roles from the time we were a child. See, a woman and a man are both human beings. A woman and a man are both just like my desktop computer, programmable from the time you're born. You are programmable. And when you're first born, you don't know what you're born into, blah, blah, blah. And between the ages of 1 and 8 years old, you're sucking in like Johnny Five, man. You're just input, input, input. This is your learning years. And when during your learning years, if it's garbage, lies, and propaganda that's being put in front of you, then it's garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. Because the deception, the lies that's being told to you from a young age, you will parrot out your mouth. See, garbage in, garbage out. And this will effectively destroy your life or lead you where the owners want you to be. Yeah. The dating scene isn't that hard to figure out. The hardest problem is going to get men and women alike to stop using the social engineering. And you can't allow a woman to demonstrate she has power over you. If she demonstrates she's the boss of the house, you demonstrate the door. You end it. No lie. You end it. If you pull a Heather, she's gone. You don't put up with it. You become a real man, not a simp, not a vagina, not too cowardly to stand up to a woman because my society will, and she'll lie and say I did something I didn't do, and what will other people think of me? Oh my God. See, and that's another big problem we have. That's also from social engineering and people's self-esteem and people's confidence and people's ability to stand up to another woman. I'm not talking about hitting her. I'm not talking about abusing her. I'm not talking about breaking the law. I'm talking about just simply standing up for yourself to a female as a man. In today's society, when you do that, you're gambling. You might be cuffed and stuffed by some thug calling himself a cop who's actually nothing more than a pawn for the NWO. It's sad what I see going on, but the dating scene, I'm telling you, I've been here a long time, and they're not fixing anything because you don't know what you're doing. And I'm sure not trying to be mean to any of the people in the manosphere, but I've said it for years. You don't know what you're doing. You don't want to hear my advice. You want to let it fall on deaf ears, and you want to keep going with what the programming is. And as long as you're going to keep going with the programming is, and you're not going to look for the root cause, you're not going to understand the root cause, and you're not going to use critical thinking skills to examine how it's got to be, how we've got to fix this, and you have no idea where to start to fix it, okay? Because you don't want to accept what you want, what you're hearing. My words are falling on deaf ears. If you accepted what I was saying, then maybe you would use logic and critical thinking skills to figure out how you could fix it, and that goes for men and women alike. The hardest part is getting women to give up the power. But that power is not to be given to men. That power is to be abolished, disintegrated, gone forever. Because we're both human beings, we don't belong having power over one another. We don't belong telling each other what to do. Nobody wants to be told what to do or feel lower than somebody else. I don't know anybody that wants to feel lower than somebody else. I see messed up people psychologically because they've been so brain raped and so rejected that they're up there like that Matt guy that's TFL here on YouTube. He's up there putting himself down, saying he knows he's a piece of crap, he knows he's a turd, he knows he's this, he knows he's that. Just putting himself down. You want to talk about no self-esteem, you want to talk about completely destroyed, hasn't the first clue of what he's doing. Well, he's destroying himself because of our sick society. But nothing is 100%. This is why I know a lot of you guys haven't really paid attention. Because if you was to be out in your community, your city, your town, and you was to really pay attention, and I mean really pay attention, and stop using the tools, you're going to start noticing guys that you thought would be TFL with a woman with them. Well, how did they get that woman? You're going to actually start noticing that. Then maybe once you start noticing that, you'll figure out what the hell is going on here. What the hell's going on here is simple. It's very simple. What's going on is these two people didn't follow social engineering. These two human beings recognized each other, got to know each other, liked each other, and it wasn't based on, man, he's missing his hair and he's 270 pounds or 350 pounds. And how did he get that girl? Why am I alone? Why can't I get a woman in my life? See, examine it and think about the stuff I've been telling you. Because if you do that and you practice the stuff I try to tell you, it takes work and it takes time. There is no such thing as instant gratification that today's society tells you there is. That's a mirage. That's a hologram. It's a lie. There is no such thing as instant gratification. Unfortunately, the best advice that can be given. The real advice that needs to be given, that you need to take to heart, is the fact that you've been lied to about everything, and no, take your damn mind off the differences between women and men. Throw that shit right in the goddamn garbage. It's designed to divide you from the women, and it works because you're all worried about her differences. You know how many times I've seen men doing that? Oh, but the differences between the man and the woman and the woman is in their nature. No, it isn't. It's programming. It is not their nature. That's a lie. It's to make you believe something is true that's not true. You become friends first. If you're compatible, you will become best friends. And if that happens, it'll be more than friends. You understand that? You have to take the time to date to get to know one another. And it's no such thing as opposites attract. That's a complete piece of fucking garbage fucking if I've ever heard it in my life. Opposites do not attract. That's retarded. That's a lie. That's for division. It's to keep us apart. Dating was designed to get to know somebody. That's what dating was about. Dating was never about the success of putting your dick in a hole. That's how you destroy. If you don't want a successful relationship and have a female in your life as your best friend and companion, then all you want to do is stick your dick in a hole. Then I suppose you can go get yourself a prostitute. You can go outside, you can go to Vegas, go outside of St. Leonard's and get a brothel, and you can spend some money and put your dick in a hole. But if you want to mate, a friend, to wake up next to in the morning that'll hold you, that you can hold them, and somebody to do things with and laugh and tease, and they can laugh and tease with you, and somebody that's going to be your companion, then that takes work. And that takes getting to know one another. And because you meet a girl and you date 3, 4, 5 times doesn't mean you're going to be compatible. And if you realize that, wow, you could be friends, but it's not, you couldn't be together because you have too many differences, you don't fucking put them down for it. You don't do what Blue Skies Media did, all pissed off because she didn't like his type of music and he knows his music is blah, blah, blah. He was his own enemy. He didn't understand because you meet a girl don't mean it's all, I'm finally done, it's over. No, that's not how it works, idiots. You meet a girl, you take the time to date each other, and if you have things compatible, you'll keep seeing each other. And eventually you'll like each other enough that you become friends. You'll hang out. You'll be hanging together, man. You just hang out, get to know each other. Talk, joke with each other, watch the movies, examine each other, see what our likes and dislikes are. See, this is the reality, man. This is the real world. This is how you're going to be successful. And it is the only way. It's none of this idea we got to jump right into it shit. That's how you just stick TFL. Quit bitching your TFL if that's what you're going to go with. If you're going to keep going with the social engineering and you want to be TFL, that's all I can tell you. And don't sit there and come along and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's compare your success to mine. Oh, how did I do that? Well, maybe you should start listening, huh? I'm seriously trying to help people here. I really am. But I cannot help guys who don't want help. If you're just here and have a bitching session and that's all you want to do online, then let's just say our next rant, our next whine, we can have whining 101. And the next show will be whining 102. And we'll just start numbering it. Okay? The crying and whiners, the whiners. Well, that's because you're not going to have a reliable or anything value in today's society when both men and women alike don't know what they're doing. See, I'm not criticizing just men. What I'm telling you is the years of social engineering. It's just like I told you. If you took a poll and you took two sides of the poll, and one side of the poll was social engineering directed at the women, and the other side of the poll was social engineering directed at men. And from the time you're brought home as a baby, you watched a television set that was lying to you. You've listened to music with lyrics in it that was to steer you a certain direction. Yeah, you've been programmed. And you got to be able to lose that programming. You got to be able to understand that's lies, man. You got to take your attention off the differences. Fuck the differences. You don't give a shit about the differences. She's a human being and she don't give birth to some creature because you're a guy. She gives birth to a human being. See, we're both human beings. And it's about getting to know each other and becoming friends. It's not about opposites. It's not about all the shit that I've been telling you. And the stuff that we hear being said a whole lot in the manosphere is people talking about the sexual value in the marketplace and, yeah, all social engineering. Yeah. And the rating, if she's a 1 to a 5, and if he's a 1 or a 5, and making a rating system. Okay? Categories, segregation. We're making categories. This is a geek, this is a nerd, this is a loser. Yeah. We're placing each other in categories, man, which is division. And then we're telling other people what their roles have to be, man. The woman's supposed to stay in the house and cook and clean and raise the kids while I go earn the money. That's her role because I said so. Oh, you're the guy. You're not allowed to have emotions. That's right. You're just to bottle your emotions up because a woman's emotional and a man ain't. What a lie. Women think with emotions and men think with logic. And then I examine your words. Men think with logic? Where? Where? You see how retarded this is? It's all lies. Yes, women are emotional, but that's part of social engineering. I know an awful lot of men that are just as emotional as women. An awful lot. They're not losers neither. You know why they have them emotions? Oh, it's because they're a human being like she is. Huh? Well, yeah, but society says, yeah, society destroyed your ass with their lies. That was deliberately done. On an individual level, we have to be able to control ourselves. See, a woman who's all emotional, guys need emotions too. Okay, and when a guy's pissed off and all emotional, he don't think clearly. When a woman's pissed off and all emotional, she don't think clearly. And when we place a woman from the time they're a little child on a pedestal, and we give them all their wants, and we pamper them, and we treat them like blah blah blah, like a queen, and we shit all over the little boy, you know, and we dump on the little boy. We tell the little boy, "You gotta be a good man. You watch how you talk to a woman, or well, you watch what you're saying when a woman's in the room. You talk a certain way. You don't never talk this way around a woman." Do you follow some more social engineering going on here? Any of you know what I'm talking about? Don't you ever hit your sister. Well, but Dad, she hit me. I don't care if she hit you. You don't put your hands on your sister. You don't never put your hands on a woman. There's absolutely no excuse to put your hands on a woman. Ah, what do I hear? I hear social engineering. I hear programming. Yeah. I hear how to create a self. How to pussify a man. Unfortunately, sad, but so true. See, our roles have all been given to us people by the people who want us divided and destroyed. Oh yeah, we have such treated as goddesses. Oh, they can't do no wrong. Even if they done wrong, so what? Turn your head and look the other way. Pretend it never happened. Don't you speak up for yourself, boy. That would be abuse. You would be a woman hater. You know what I say? Oh no. You speak up for yourself. It don't make you a woman hater. It makes you a real man. Because you're not allowing somebody to intrude and stomp on your rights as a human being. Because she's a human being and you're a human being. So, but she's the one that bears the best. She's the one that gives the kids. If it wasn't for her, the kids wouldn't be here. Wrong. Because her body produces the kids? Nah. She can't produce shit without the man. See, you have to get the fact without your seed, she couldn't have a baby. Because that egg don't get fertilized by Captain Crunch. You can't eat a bowl of fucking cereal and fertilize her egg. She can't have a bowl of spaghetti and suddenly be pregnant. She ain't drinking a glass of water and fertilizing her egg. And it's not about spreading your seed. This crop is shit about going out there. You're more of a man if you put your dick in this man's hose. That don't make you more of a man. How about them children that don't have a dad now? Because you can't be a dad to 15 women, you idiot. I mean, you know, the reality's right there, man. You get this guy goes out there, oh, you know, like Espil said, only takes 17 men to populate. No, it don't. 17 men could never populate yours. And what about the kids who still go, well, it's not so bad growing up without a parent? Oh, that's because you're falling right into social engineering. What about all these little children who wanted their mommy and daddy? What about two parents in a household? Oh, well, yeah. Well, that was back in the olden days. Oh, well, that's why you're divided. That's why you always be alone. That's why you always be a fool. Are you going to weigh yourself as a man by how many hoes you put your penis in? Why don't you just call yourself a scumbag? Maybe you can get some VDs, some AIDS, some burpees, and crabs, and all the nice little things that goes along with that behavior. But then you're going to pass it to somebody else. Just like with cheating, the same thing. When somebody cheats on their partner. Well, if they go out there cheating on their partner, well, if it's the man or the woman, and they come home and lie to their partner and they pick up a little nice little surprise run away, they might deserve it, but the freaking person, the opposite gender that wasn't cheating on their other partner, they don't deserve it, but you're going to give it to them. You look at all these single moms. Of course, there's a lot of single moms. Because these guys think they're being a man, they're spreading their seed. And they're leaving lots of children without a dad. And then you complain about the men who grow up minus the dad and how they act. Well, see, I try so hard to bring the manosphere together and get the men and women back together. I bring Jane on the show because I'm trying to, when I first brought Jane on the show on Saturday night, all you guys fucking were pussyfied, madder than hell. It's a woman. Oh, Bill's a simp. Huh, wonder why you're alone, huh? Wonder why you can't meet a woman. Wonder why you couldn't freaking ever have a woman in your life. Look at this shit, the way people acted when I first brought her on the show. Do you understand that right there was a classic example? And you know what was funny? I knew I was bringing her on the show and I was having a chat on the side, and I'm not saying names. And I said exactly what was going to happen when I brought her up onto the show. And I told her everything to look out for, and we were talking with my friends, and this was going to happen when I brought her up that night. And everything I said happened right in my face. I said within 15, 20 minutes, somebody would say that we're together. We're fucking each other. It happened. I said that we would be called simps. It happened. Yeah. I called the behavior before you had your behavior. And do you realize it's that behavior that you had that keeps you alone? Because you don't understand what you're really doing when you think you do and you don't. You know, if I tell you sound advice of what to do, and you just use your head and examine what the world's doing and what I'm telling you, and then go out there and just walk around your town or go to the store or go to the mall or go wherever, and just start observing couples, not because you want a girl in your life, just to see how many Chads have woman in their arm and how many women you see with a guy that you thought would be TFL. If you literally would go out and do that, you're going to discover, man, there's all kinds of guys that I thought would be TFL that has a girlfriend. Why do they have one and I don't? See, open your eyes. Get off this damn computer and be in the real world. This computer is not the real world. You have real people up here like myself who really care and are trying to help you. But my help is useless when it falls on deaf ears. If you just use what you have the ability to do, your head, your brain, and seriously slow down and examine what I'm telling you, and just go out and do your best. But get yourself a group of friends, man. I know you meet guys at work, whatever, a lot of times, oh, they're already all taken. Oh, they're already all taken. Yeah, I know. And then you meet other guys that ain't taken. But see, you got to stop the competing against each other, too. It's not about competition, guys. This is not a sport. It's not an arena. It's not about competition. We got to stop competing against each other. You know, one time in this world, if you didn't have a girlfriend and were having trouble, other friends would step up to the plate and introduce you to somebody. It used to happen all the time. Now it's gone. Now you don't see it no more. Jada got pissed last Saturday. She had a right to be pissed. She was telling truth and she didn't realize how fucked up the mindsets of the manosphere are. She tried telling you about two women that are her friends that really got abused by men and heard somebody laugh like that was funny. I'm so happy that women got abused. Oh, revenge. Let's keep what the elite want alive, man. Let's stay alone. Let's stay divided. We'll just keep fighting one another, huh? We could line the women up over there with guns, and we could line the men up over here with guns, and you could start shooting at each other, right? bunch of idiots. So I said it to you. I mean, how many men in the manosphere actually really want to get out of this situation? Ask yourself that question. How many men in the manosphere really want to get out of this situation they're in? You need to ask yourself that question, because if you really want out of the situation you're in, then you better lose the social engineering. You better lose the program. And you better understand that we're both human beings. Nobody is above nobody. I don't give a shit what her damn gender is. Well, but she has all the power. Huh? So fucking what? She has no power over me. She can think she has power over me. No, she don't. You don't let her have the power. You're not taking power from her to give it to yourself. You just don't let her have the power. Well, but then you won't have a girlfriend. That's right. I didn't want to be with a toxic bitch anyhow. And so then I went, did what? I went right on out there and kept my little club going. I get my friends together, that ain't married, that are single, because look at the manosphere, man. We're full of single men. So why can't I? Well, I ain't hanging on with no man. I don't want to be around no man. I'm not gay. I'm social engineering 101 again. I'm going right down the rabbit hole. See, you don't gotta have many, and it's not about competing. It's about going out, getting involved in something, being yourself, because you will attract other females, other people that'll come around and join in. You can compete if you want to compete in bowling. You can compete in darts, but not anything real. Don't take it seriously and don't be getting mad. You're there for fun. See, the other problem everybody has is everybody wants to be a winner. Nobody wants to be a loser. It's like the B10 rating system you gave to the dating scene. Nobody wants to be number one. That's right, nobody. They don't even want to be a number 2 or 3. Nobody wants to be that. Same thing. Nobody wants to lose. You can't go shoot darts or shoot a game of pool or go bowling without having a fit because somebody else is better than you. Then I gotta tell you to go home and grow up. Yeah, well, you see a woman pregnant actively with no guy, that would be a normal thing in today's society. Now, it would depend on where you're seeing the woman is pregnant with no guy. Because she could have the guy that got her pregnant, and they could be together, and he may just be at work. If you don't know them or be in part of their life, you cannot look and see the woman's pregnant and see no guy next to her and make a judgment call. Because if you don't know her, then you don't know. You would be making an assumption, which most assumptions winds up with big foot and big mouth. Not accurate whatsoever. So when you say you've seen a woman, okay, with no guy, and she was pregnant, the only thing I can tell you, unless you know her name and know her personally, you may be making an assumption and may not even be correct with what you're saying. You don't see very many pregnant women anymore. You do have pregnant women that got pregnant from screwing around, just like a guy who actually has no boyfriend in their life, so I'm not going to say you're wrong. But I'm also not going to say you're right unless you actually know the woman. There are freaking women that will do exactly what you're saying. I agree with that, okay? There are women out here that will use the guy to get pregnant to go after benefits. You're correct about that, and they don't want to be with the guy. See, that's both of their faults because the guy, he's allowing it to put his dick in all because he thinks he makes him more of a man. And she's going after the benefits because it's about usury. Remember I said earlier? This is how you're going to define a real man. Because a real man isn't going to be about usury. And a good woman won't be about usury. The people, I don't give a shit how many there are. I don't give a flying fuck about numbers. Okay? For the men and for the women who thinks there's nothing wrong with that behavior, they're part of the problem. They're part of the reason society's so fucked up because they don't know what they're doing. I mean, when Steve Hokus says the dating scene is dead, he's correct. Would you expect it to survive? How could it survive? Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. It's not dead for men who know what they're doing and women who ain't running around with their power. No, it isn't. It's only dead for the idiot. The idiot women and the idiot men. That's what it's dead for. It takes work and it takes time. And unfortunately, sometimes, don't matter how much work and time you put into it and how many times you go out, you just keep never meeting somebody. But you got to try and you got to be yourself when you go out. You know, you really got to be yourself because eventually you will. It could take a few years. It could take several years when you meet that right person. When you meet that person, though, and you do it naturally, then one day you could. Look at Hayden. See, Hayden has a girlfriend now. And I've talked to Hayden, man. As long as he continues to do what he's doing, as long as she's dead serious and they both put effort into it, and they really like each other and they keep the foundation. As long as they keep the foundation, man, I'm proud of him. I'm happy for Hayden. I would be happy for all of you guys to see you be able to get a woman in your life. But you're not going to get a woman in your life with following the social engineering. I don't give a shit what you tell me. Doesn't matter to me what you tell me. Because I already know if you're going to continue to follow the social engineering, you can enjoy your life of loneliness. Because that's right where you'll be. I hate to say it to you, but that's the truth. That is right where you'll be. So enjoy your life of loneliness. That's all I can tell you. But guys, I'm going to get on out of here now. I had my little rant. And this is my dating scene topic rant. For the people that don't understand, you have to lose the social engineering and you have to go back to what men and women did for many, 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 many years. Take the time to get to know each other. If you're rejected in 1 to 5 seconds, it's because it's a programmed, robotic, dumb woman, okay? And just keep going until you get to being yourself. And when you get a woman who actually acknowledges you or comes up and talks to you and you're doing an activity and you really start to get to know each other, then you're going to find your way through this mess. And with that being said, guys, I'm out of here and you all have a good one.